Hi, it's Jody, and I'm laughing because this is the fourth time I've tried to make this video. I've made this video at least 2 other times in the last 2 weeks. I never posted it. Now I can't even find them, and they're relevant anyway because they're old news. I just wanted to say hi. I'm still here. And every time I start to make a video, an alarm goes off, or I get notifications, or I get a phone call. So I think I have it on airplane mode. There's no alarms. I think we're good now. Oh my God. So last you heard, I was having trouble getting some of my epilepsy medications covered. I got that squared away. And I just really quick want to share this with everyone in case you or someone you love could use this information. Because my mom, when I told my mom, she was like, really? I've always heard about that, but I didn't know that was a thing. And I was like, oh, other people probably don't know. So if you need drug coverage, they wanted me to pay $768 because I didn't renew my program that I had that was covering my meds for me. I didn't get to renew it when the government was shut down in time for it to kick in for 2026. And so I had to figure out what to do. I had to get my meds. So I called the 800 number on the bottle. The pharmaceutical companies that charge super amounts of money and the insurance pays it so they can, but then you have these big copays. If you can't pay for your medication, call the patient number on the bottle. Or, at the end of the commercial when it, you can even if you haven't seen the commercials on TV, you can on YouTube usually search, and almost anything you've ever that's a video that you've ever wanted, you can Google on YouTube and find the commercials on there. Or just do a Google search for your particular drug, and that page will come up, and there'll be somewhere in there, call a patient line if you can't afford your meds. So I called that number. Now, the only thing is, it took 2 weeks to kick in. So I made sure I got all my information in right away. I even called my doctor's nurse, made sure they had all their information right away. I talked to 3 different people. It was like 12 phone calls in one day, but I did it, made sure everything was filed. And I didn't hear back. And so I thought that meant I didn't get it. And I still kept applying for every other state and federal program I could think of. Anything to try to get these. But meanwhile, I was cutting pills in half, trying to wean myself off really slow, because you're not supposed to take epilepsy medicine for an extended period of time and then just abruptly stop it. You could go into permanent seizure and you could die. So I was trying to cut pills in half and wean myself off real slow. And then all of a sudden, about 2 weeks later, I got a call. Hey, it's us. It's the patient program. And who's your pharmacist? And I told them. And they called me back after they called the pharmacy. They called me back and said, all right, your pills will be ready today. And I was like, wow. So if I had only had like a 2-week cushion on my meds, I would have not have even had to skip one or cut any in half or anything. And my meds went from, it was going to charge me $768. And because I got in this patient program, I was able to get my epilepsy medication for $12.65. Let me repeat that. I was going to be charged my copay, because it's like a $1,100 or $1,400 med. My copay was going to be $768 on this medication. And because I got on the patient program from the actual drug manufacturer, the company that makes the medicine, their program, and they all have one, approved me, and I'm paying $12.65 every month now for my seizure med. I take more than one, but the other one's a generic, and it cost me like $5 for 90 days, so I wasn't worried about it. But this one is the one that has kept the unconscious grand mal seizures away for like 470 days or something. So the only problem was during the time while I was cutting my pills in half and messing with my meds, I did start having more often the focal aware seizures. So, like, I'm never seizure free 100% to the point, and you have to be at least 6 months or a year before they'll even consider letting you drive. I've just made peace with the fact that I may never drive again in my life. Whatever. The fact that I can even say it so casually, whatever, is a miracle. That was a huge, huge thing I had to get past. and heal in myself that I may never drive again, because I'm a driver. I mean, if you've known me any length of time, I mean, I owned an RV, okay, and lived traveling around the country. So it was huge for me to have to stop living in an RV and face the fact that I may never drive again. But I'm there now. I've made peace with it. But, yeah, so where was I? I don't know. I wanted to let people know that that is a real thing. Because, like, when I told my mom, she was like, well, I always hear that at the end of drug commercials, you know, call this number if you need help. I didn't know it was real. I'm like, it's real. It just took 2 weeks. Like, I didn't hear from them and I gave up on it. But they came back to me and said, okay, you're covered. You know, we've got you. So it was so important to me to get that information out there, because I can only imagine how many people like me thought, oh, well, now I don't have my coverage. I can't pay that. I can't have these meds. And I mean, I need this medication. If it is so much more dangerous for me to not be medicated, as much as I hate pharmaceuticals and would do anything to not be on pharmaceuticals. And I have tried, I mean, you name it, and I've tried it. Okay. I have tried everything. Anything you want to send me a link to right now, I promise you, someone has already sent me a link. I've already tried it more than once over the last 6 years, because even all the things I tried in the early days, I tried again over the years because I was so desperate to get off meds. But I've finally made peace with the fact that right now, at this time in my life, these meds are keeping me safe and keeping me alive. It is what it is. But luckily, though, because I have had to eat so clean, because so many food ingredients give me seizures. I am eating cleaner than I thought I was before. And I still could go further, but I am eating so clean that this past visit with my primary doctor, not only have I gone off of other medications, my blood test results were so good that I can, if my next one at 3 months is just as good, he's going to extend me out to 6 months for checkups with blood tests and everything, because I've improved my health so much in every other capacity outside of the epilepsy. So that's exciting. That's really exciting. But anyway, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, I promise, if you're sitting there going, oh, I heard about this thing and it could help epilepsy, everyone on the planet sends me links all the time, whether I want them to or not. And I promise you, I at some point, I have tried everything you're talking about more than once in an effort to get rid of this. And ultimately, what healed me the most was making peace with where I was at. More than trying any technique. Try this supplement, try this energy healing, try this, do this, go there, go here. More than anything else, what has healed me is making peace with where I was first. Oh, that feels so good. I'm getting chills. That feels so good. And I've talked about this in videos before. I've talked about how in order to manifest what you want, you first have to acknowledge where you are, okay? So we're not clinging to today's hurt, but we're we're accepting that this is where I am today. A lot of spiritual bypassers or toxic positivity people will say, you know, just affirmations and visualizations. And yes, those are important, very important. But you have to do everything in the right order. And the best analogy I've come up with to explain that is, if you get out of the grocery store, you know you want to go home. But right now, you're standing at the grocery store. First, you have to find your car in the parking lot and go to it, where it is in the grocery store parking lot, before you can get in it, put the key in it, and drive to where you want to be next. Okay? So we're not going to stay and live at the grocery store. We were there for a minute getting what we needed. Okay? So wherever you are right now in your life, You were there because you were getting what you needed out of it. I had epilepsy, and I had to go through all the stages and of grief and denial and fighting it, and I hate it, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that, and it's horrible, and it's ruining my life. I'm never going to drive again. You know, I had to go through all of it, okay? But I wasn't going to live there till I'm dead. I have lessons to learn from it, lessons, healing that it brought me about myself, about my life, about who I am, where I've been, where I wanted to go. Maybe I wasn't supposed to go there. Maybe it was supposed to just, maybe it was supposed to look like this. I had so much to accept right here and make peace with right here. But that was just a visit to the grocery store. And then I had to go, oh, I'm ready to leave the grocery store, and I'm ready to go over there. And I don't know if I have epilepsy over there. So first I have to make peace with the epilepsy. And then I have to say, right now, this is happening. I don't even say I have it. That's the next thing I'm trying to fix, because I'm in the habit of saying I have epilepsy. Epilepsy is happening to me at this time. It is an experience I'm having at this time. I'm going to go find my car. I'm going to open the door. I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to turn the ignition. I'm going to go to the next stage in my life. And along the way, I will find out if epilepsy is supposed to be a part of it over there. Does that make sense? So right now, because I'm leaving the grocery store, so to speak, and I'm headed to the car, and I'm going to type in GPS. Once I decide where I'm going next, I'm going to type it. Or maybe I'll be like, GPS, where do I want to go? But you have to give it some direction, right? You have to put a destination in GPS. So you have to put something in. And then you can, which route, you can leave it up to the universe. Which route are we going to take to get there? You can say, I want to take this route. And then you don't know what you're going to stumble across because you insisted on this route. Like, there's so many places we can go with this. But I am actually grateful that epilepsy has taught me so much and has forced me to sit in my own shit and heal so much more on levels I didn't even know I had, let alone needed to heal. It's been incredible. And just today, there was another one, because the number one thing that epilepsy has helped me cure is, I feel like I'm not high enough in there. The number one thing is fear. Like, we are born, and from the moment we're born, the world is imprinting fear on us. Don't fall. You might hurt yourself. That's going to break and you'll get cut with glass. Don't do that. Someone could kidnap you. Oh my God. There's wars. There's fire. There's heart attacks. Bus could hit you. Like, literally. Like, you are imprinted with fear from the moment you're born. Everyone's putting their fears on you. Make sure they get food. Make sure they're not smothered in their sleep. Make sure, like, from the time you're an infant, people are imprinting their fears on you. And your biggest job in this lifetime is to get those fears back off and be the person you came here to be. And epilepsy helped me more than anything to do that, because every time I woke up from an unconscious seizure, I could have died, and I didn't. And the more I had seizures and survived them, the more times I had a hospital visit and then was cleared and you're good, go home, was another time that I was stronger and I lived. And we had this incredible conversation going on one of the epilepsy groups today. And someone was saying, how do you live with the fear? Will you have aren't you just afraid to die all the time? And so a bunch of us who've been in it for a while and done the healing were commenting, and we were saying, to survive it and know that, what did I say? How did I say it? Oh, one person came in the comments and just said, SUDEP, sudden unexpected death. Like they were confirming. That's all they said. They were confirming to the post, yes, you could die at any minute. So I responded to that person's comment and I said, right, that could happen. A bus could hit you. A heart attack could happen. So instead of dying that, now, like I'm not going to die and give away my life now while I'm still here to live it. To me, it's all the more reason to live every moment as if it matters, because it does. Don't waste, like if you're going to sit home, my point was, if you're going to sit home in fear and just be afraid of everything. I have a family member that does this. Their entire life is fear. They're now called narcissists too, but their entire life is fear. They're afraid of themselves. Everyone in the family knows this person is so wrapped up in fear that they haven't lived their life, and now they blame everybody else for all of their issues, when really, I know, because I've been with them my life, I know their entire life is that they have had so much fear that they've held themselves so small, and they knew they were capable of so much more, and they could have done great things, and they didn't, only because of fear. And so now they drink their life away, and they're scared, and they blame everybody else for everything that ever happens to them. But watching that, my whole life helped me to see that I refuse to do that. I refuse to live in fear. Yeah, suit up. I could die in my sleep tonight. So you know what? I better get the best day today ever and make my life worth it and make my life mean something. And I mean, I know I'm not going to die because I already decided when I was like 5, I'm going to live to be 100, at least 100, maybe 105. I think more 105, but because I think it was 100 years from the time I was 5. And every time in my life I heard about people living over 100, I went, oh, I'm going to do that. And so I've always just known. I even told Wyatt when I met him, I said, our age difference doesn't matter because I'm going to live to be at least 100 anyway. So that gives him till at least 75. But yeah, like, I don't understand this. Like, yeah, that there's real risk, but there's real risk to everything. And nothing is 100%. Even when people have like the worst cancer on the planet, like, and they're told there's a 99% chance, but they never say 100, because there's always that one person who refuses to let that be their reality. Like, I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, why are you so eternally optimistic? And it's like, I guess that's just who I came here to be in this lifetime. That's my job. Like, I came here to share all my inspiration with others, hoping it can help someone else. But I'm not attached to whether this is going to help you or not, which is equally important. I am no longer attached to other people's outcomes. I'm not even attached to my own. I'm constantly like the next minute. And so much of that came from all the healing with epilepsy. I'm going to finish. I copied this and saved it for myself. I wrote a comment on someone's post today that really summed up where I am. I said, the best thing I ever did for myself was step away from the world and hermit for a few years to really heal myself from so much of my own crap. I have a clearer understanding of the world around me and how much it has nothing to do with me. And yes, I understand now how very powerful I am, how much we all are. Once we are willing to let go and trust ourselves. Humans are trained like monkeys, and we cannot undo the programming until we first accept it. Then stop being afraid of it. So that's what I've been doing. When you don't see me, when you don't hear from me, when I haven't made art in a while to put out in the world, I'm busy seeing myself and fixing this first. And the more I do that, the more I see how much other stuff we think is so important actually has nothing to do with our own existence. So that's where I've been. That's where I'm at. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, put a blue heart to show me that you watched till the end. I would love that so much. Thank you and have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.